I love that kind of practical philosophy, philosophy that has to make sense of life. I think Stoicism does that really well. I just think the fundamentals are kind of wrong. So there's a lot of Stoicism that I like because I grew up wrestling. I've started wrestling when I was in first grade. The philosophical world and the wisdom tradition have bifurcated a little bit. But when you go back to the Stoics, this is ancient philosophy. So this is where the two were one. Plato and the Platonists, they did philosophy in the gymnasium. I mean, Plato was probably a wrestler. Plato was his nickname, and it means broad. Probably because he was jacked, probably because he was a champion wrestler. I've heard that, and I'm going to choose to believe that. But his real name was Aristocles, so not Plato. He was jacked. It's like calling the dude jacked. I love that kind of practical philosophy, philosophy that has to make sense of life. I think Stoicism does that really well. I just think the fundamentals are kind of wrong. I think they get a lot right because I'm a Christian. I think they live in a Christian world. I think that's the true story of reality. And so I think they get a lot of things right. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a good philosophy. It wouldn't have had any truth to say. So I think they pick out some really good things, but I think they're wrong on some stuff, and that's fine. I love that they're obsessed with the Logos. And I'm like, hey, I just think the Logos is a personal being.
Hmm.
I do think it's a divine plan, but I think he is a divine person. I actually am a theistic determinist. So I'm a Calvinist. I think that there are things outside of my control, but I can practice apatheia and ataraxia, because I think the divine plan is good. If it were just blind chance, man, I don't know that I would be chill about that. Um, I think there's a lot of really good stuff, and I think I latch onto it easily because of my wrestling past, because of a lot of the principles that we learn in American folk style wrestling. They do, at least superficially, they do totally cohere with Stoic principles. Um, don't show emotion. Why? Because it's not manly? Well, it's going to make things worse, bro. If you give into that, if you stoke your fear, if you act viciously, it's not going to help anything. There's so much that's outside of your control. So control what you can control. You can't control the ref. You can't control your opponent. You can't control any of that. What you can control is how hard you work. So maybe that's a little broicism, but I actually think it is lining up with true Stoicism. So